So this is going to be just a general talk and walkthrough for the speedrun for this Any Glitchless category. We're going to load up from a save file that is rolled credits, since that is required to unlock the DLC. I did the little bottle, the message in the bottle part already. So we'll just have to go into the tower and we'll see the opening cutscene. We'll skip past that. The time will get started once we get inside the clock. So this is going to be intended for anyone interested in learning the speedrun for this, trying it themselves. This guide should get you somewhere in the vein of 2 hours and 30 minutes. And then go from there. So we're going to load up a save file. This is a new game save file, so we'll talk a little bit about how runs for this could eventually be sort of stabilized. You have to roll credits on a file in order to unlock the DLC, so that means anybody looking to run this with their own save file is going to have slightly different level, stats, equipment on their characters. So I will show Valir and Zale's equipment before we go into the clock. But ultimately, we would have to use like a universal save file for everybody to sort of have the same stats going in and coming out. Because there is a fight towards the end that you will use your base game characters in. So your stats could differ. So I will be going in at level 18 with the following equipment on Valir and the following equipment on Zale, along with my stats. Of course, you could go do saunas, post-game grinding, boost your stats before going in, and this would ultimately affect the speed of your final fight a little bit, right, depending on what level you are. If you go in with a level 30 file, your final fight would definitely be much quicker. But this is going to be under the guise of, like, you just finished new game, you roll credits. This file went through and did the 100% ending and unlocked Garl. So that part is complete. Actually, I don't know if I'd roll credits on this file with Garl unlocked, but either way, there are many different ways you can enter the DLC, which will ultimately affect the speed of your final fight. With all of that said, let's head into the clock. Before we make any movement inside of the clock, I'm going to reset all the relics, and time will start when we turn the speedrun relic back on. So we'll just turn everything off. We're going to go Signifying Glass. This is going to remove the mystery locks. For the purposes of this video, and even most of the runs I do now, I usually turn this one on. We can kind of dub this classic mode, I guess. This just takes all of the guessing out of your run. You will not have to guess what set of locks an enemy has at any sort of point. So that is all just sort of removed, and it allows your time for the run to be more of an accurate representation of your speed and skill. Sequin Flare, we're going to turn this one on. This is just a visual to kind of show proper timings. It doesn't really affect gameplay in any sort of way. It just gives a visual when you properly time an attack, so it's just nice to look at. Other than that, we're going to go speedrun. Marker the speedrunner, and 3, 2, 1. Oh, welcome to the DLC. We're going to start by going in here, flicking this switch, and doing a little puzzle. You're going to go right, left, center. And you're kind of looking for around 15 seconds for that. When you come out here, you're going to want to go hard right so that you can immediately get to this bridge. And as you're moving upwards here, just try to keep your left-right to a minimum and just maximize your forward momentum. And on the world map here, we've got upright, upright movement. Just go upright, upright. And you're holding your text and scenes speed up buttons through all of this. We got our first fight with Piff and Poof here. This is like an auto scroller battle. You can't die in this fight, so just let them do their thing. Mash through your attack menus as quickly as you can, and they're going to have some dialogue after each of Zale and Valier's attacks, so be ready to speed up through that. This fight kind of really just shows you that like you can't do anything as Solstice Warriors in this land. All of your stuff is pretty much powerless against them. So they're just going to lay the whooping down on you. And after we get through our third round here after Zale's attack, that's kind of when the fight will end. You guys have some dialogue and then the fight will be over. And we can call that our first split. I don't know if you even really want to call that a split, but it's going to be pretty much the same thing every single time. So. But now we transition over to the prison scene here with Artie, our new character. And this section's really fun. I enjoy this section. Nice couple battles, a little bit of puzzling. So the first room we go up diagonally, and we're going to start with the leapfrog. And I'm going to go 11. I want to see 12 damage. That's pretty much what I want to see here. We're going to hope for good RNG, and then he throws some locks up. And he doesn't. So you want to see him throw locks up here, because you'll be able to do back-to-back attacks without having to sit through another animation from his attack. But either way, do a couple of timed attacks, get yourself out of here. And begin by going up on the right side. You're going to go up into this room and air puff this cannon. Quickly make your way over to the switch here. Make note of which way the cannon is facing as the scene begins, and if he's facing away, you're free to just go after you regain control. But if he's facing towards you, you'll want to give him like a quick air puff before you go. So first, we want to get the second block down here, so we're going to push this first block to the right and climb it. And that gives us the second block. And before we solve the puzzle, there's a piece of gear here we want to pick up. So we're going to push this block down, get this one over to the center so that we can push it upwards. And we want to boost the left air pad here. Generally, those blue chests with the stars on them are typically a piece of gear or some key item. So you'll want to try to collect all of them if you see them. Whereas you'll see some other chest types that are just kind of blue and white, and those are typically food or items. So that one gave us this bulb key. And we're on to our next room. You don't need to immediately equip everything as soon as you pick it up. You can if you want, but if you want to maximize, I guess minimize your menus, you can wait. So in this room you have 3 pressure plates on the floor and a lever. And you have to do them kind of in a certain order. This first one you have to do is left center. And this gives you access to the right-hand room here. This is our first puzzle we need to solve in this room. So you're going to climb up on the left side and just stand on this pressure plate. And then push the block over on the right into this groove that appeared. There's going to be another one in the next room that we're going in that is kind of like the same idea. You're standing on a pressure plate and then pushing a block into a groove. So you can go into the room on the left-hand side here if you want to, but it's completely optional. It's an item that's not really necessary. So we can just reset after doing that right-hand room. And we're going to go right center this time. The order in which you press these switches does matter. If I was to have gone center right, I would have got a different outcome, which might not have led me back here. So it's important that you do it in order. We got an item up here, and then we're going to air puff this guy, go inside. And instead of going up the left, we're going to go up the right. And same idea, pressure plate. Push this block into the groove. So we have both lights lit up. we can now go to that room in the very back, and that guy still doesn't know what's up, so we can just head directly for the door. You want to push him off to the left so that he just doesn't have any interference with you when you're coming out of the block. And then we just push the center plate, and that leads us all the way to the back here. So we're going to have that scripted battle here. You'll want to open up with Valir and move over to the cannon. Do a time attack. Boost, Artie, and do a leapfrog. And then Juggernaut on this guy down here. And it doesn't matter what set of locks that guy has. You can always use Juggernaut in a combination of the other moves you did here to break whatever lock he has. In this next round, you're just going to get a boost. You can either clean this up with Valir and then Artie, or Artie and then Valir. It doesn't really matter. But just get a boost and then clean up. That's going to force our first level up. Unlike the vanilla game, this doesn't allow you to pick any sort of stat upgrades. Everything is just allocated to you directly. So just hold your speed up button, smash as soon as you see them finish their animation, and again for the second panner. So as you're coming out here, I missed it completely, I'm way over here, but as you're coming out of this battle, you can regain control really early. So Valir is always standing in this position. If you kind of like diagonal down to the right, and you kind of just need to feel this out because you can't see it, but you can move her all the way down through the hallway and get a really nice transition out of the battle, pretty much directly into this room. We missed it entirely there. I was way off to the right-hand side, but with a little bit of practice, it's something that you can get down fairly easily. Oops. We want to push this out of the way. Go up. And in this room, you need to be very tight. So you're going to pick up this chest, and you want to hug this wall kind of very closely and up along the stairs to avoid this encounter. And then up here, you're going to go directly south once you get out. So that's going to be the prison escape, where we're now in Horloge, our hub, our main hub of the DLC, if you will. So we first need to make our way into the main center of town. And we've got a couple things we need to do here before we leave to head to Rail Forest. First thing we're going to want to do is Valir's minigame. It gives you a very nice accessory that boosts the healing on Loombo. It's going to be very crucial for the run. So we're just going to get this done and out of the way now. This minigame you can't end the minigame early, so you do have to wait for the timer to end. So it's not something that you need to be fantastic at. You just need to get yourself to gold. So generally, the gold rings are going to give you a speed boost. You'll want to try to space those out a little bit. But try to find something that gives you a nice flow. So that you can get the gold ring pretty much like every second sequence and try to keep that speed boost going as much as possible. Again, you don't need to be perfect at this. You can see I just missed a set of rings there. You just need to get yourself to gold. Once you get to this gold ring section, you should only have to collect about a dozen of them or so. Diagonal jumps are great. You can line up 3 of them there every kind of other time, and you'll see I have gold now, so you can either run around, try to collect more if you want, or you can put the controller down, just give yourself a break for a sec. Wait till the timer runs out. There is an option if you press start to quit the minigame, and if you do that, it just kind of like cancels out of the minigame. It doesn't like end it early or anything like that, so just wait for the timer to end. So there's a couple items on the right-hand side of town here. You can pick this up for safety as you're learning the run, and even as you progress with the run, they're still quite helpful items. So there's an item in the bottom right. There's a stack candy in that tent, and we'll get to the stack candies in a sec. And then there's a couple of cotton candies up here, and the cotton candies are your revive items in the DLC. And I won't say that that pickup is critical, but it's very helpful for unfortunate scenarios. So I like to pick up everything on the right-hand side of town. There's a shop on the left-hand side of town if you want to go there. I'm going to split for Horloge. But what I found is that there's really no need to shop at this point in the game. It's still quite early, so you can just avoid the shop at this time. And here in Real Forest, we're going to start by resting before we do anything, as we still have damage from the previous fight that we took. And we're going to hit the switch and move along. If done correctly, there's only one encounter in Real Forest, but more commonly you'll end up taking 2 encounters here. So we'll see what happens. This first section, if you're heading south far enough, you can use your hook shot to grab onto the ladder early. My first shot bounced, so I was a little too high up, I guess. And coming through here, there's some enemies wandering around, but you really don't need to get involved with them at all. There's a chest there for a piece of gear, and a not so out of the way chest there for an item. And we'll just climb up and move along. You can see there's a blue chest with a star down there. We're going to want to pick that up. Kind of a hidden cave back here. And this is your green plume. This is going to give you a 25 HP boost. We'll end up putting that on Zale because he's quite squishy. It'll be very helpful for him. So when these 2 guys head back up, that's your cue to move along the bottom. You're going to pick this chest up and just make your way through. And at this point, what you may want to do is just skip in and equip weapons for Valir and Artie. You could equip your armor here as well if you want, but the weapons are kind of the more important aspect because you will have a forced fight or potentially 2 coming up here soon. So you want your attack to be as high as possible. And we're going to start puzzling. We're going to move our blocks kind of in a place where we want them. We want these kind of both in the center here. We want to push this one down through the groove. This side makes it a little bit more complicated. And is actually more of a puzzle. So you're going to push both of them over. But this time, you're going to push this first one downwards. And then you're going to back them both out. You're going to get this one out of the way, and then when you push downwards, you can now just kind of push back over, and it's lined up perfectly in the groove that you need it to be. And that's that puzzle. Moving up to the next section, you're going to want to hookshot as soon as you can. Kind of get yourself up into position here, waiting just under the ladder. When you see the upper flower heading to the left, and the right one, or the bottom one, heading back towards you, that's your cue to go. That gives you enough time to move over to the cliff and climb up. And onto this next section here. This is the tricky one. This is where you may catch the encounter. Commonly, I'll say. So, first of all, we have skill scroll. Very important skill scroll, do not miss that. And we're going to head up to the encounter section here. So, you see the little guy? We want him to head north. And then we want to go for the switch. And run to the left. Okay, so that's the first part of it. That part's not too bad. But as you're coming back through, we're going to have to skip that one more time. So, hit both switches. Head back over. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So pay attention. You want to watch for him to go upwards again, but you also need to watch for the big guy to kind of not be directly in your way during this cycle. So I'm going to wait for the next time for the little guy to go up. I'm going to air puff him. And now I need to make my way back over. Perfect. that does not always go in your favor. But with that, we now have this encounter here that is kind of forced on us. I don't know if you can actually make it into the block without doing this encounter. I feel like I've tried and it doesn't let you in. So in this fight, I used a Valier first, so a little bit unfortunate for me. I'm going to go ahead and use Heat Frog immediately. Excuse me. What you want to do is, ideally in a lot of these fights, you just want to use a combination of Heat Frog and Leap Frog. But because I had to use Valier to break those locks initially, it just didn't quite work out. So I'm going to have to wait till next turn to use Leap Frog, I guess. For now, I'll use Juggernaut on the flower because it's weak to fire. And you can use up all of your MP in this fight. This is going to be the last fight you do before I can't fire, so this is all fine. And this is the main reason why we went ahead and equipped our weapons a little bit earlier, because we want to maximize our attack for this fight. And we're going to go in and climb up, and we have our first real thinker puzzle. You'll probably want to write this one down. So you're going to go in, switch one. And that's going to be the first thing you need to do to go to the upper platform. You can jump down immediately from these platforms. And then second time is going to be 1, 3, 1, 2. And that's going to be your middle section. Same deal, jump down. And then 2, 3, 2. And that's your bottom section. Done. You can't directly jump down after this one because there's no like upper platform that you're jumping from. So you have to move to the right and jump down that way. But you can jump down into the hole here directly to not have to climb down the ladder. And then that's it. It's Real Forest. We're going to do one more menu here and get the rest of our stuff equipped. And so that's Riser Wrap and Perform Refinery on Valier, Cogwell Plating on Artie, and Spinner Bracelet, Tumbler Guard, and Green Club on Zale. Armor, like I said, is not overly important. You can kind of interchange that. But so this fight, you get two different sets of locks here opening up. I'm going to open up just by breaking it the standard way. I'm not going to go ahead and use Heat Frog right away. This can either be Fire Hammer, or what we just saw. Generally in this fight, you're going to want to boost Artie's stuff, because the train is weak against laser. So get some boost out on the ground. Boost Artie's stuff, use Juggernaut when possible. And just have some fun. This is a great fight. I really enjoy this fight. It's a nice like introductory boss fight for the DLC. Oh, I really should have paid attention to what this was. This is still fine. It's a little unfortunate that like we won't be able to break the lock with this move, because he will take reduced damage from this. But we'll still be able to break this lock. And there's the Heat Frog that I now can't break. So we'll just do Leapfrog. At some point in this fight, there's usually a lock that you will not end up being able to break. Typically because you're doing back-to-back lock breaking, and you'll eventually just come across something that you're just not prepared for. But it's not a big deal. Passenger always gives you a opposite set of locks. I do not have the boost, but what I can do is get a boost with Zale, and then use Artie to break that. So the game's pretty good about giving you a chance to break the passenger. Could have used Juggernaut there. Visual things you can look out for in this fight are the smoke coming out of the train. It'll change as the fight goes on, and when you see it gets red here like this, that's kind of your cue that the fight is coming to an end. So if you have any MP left at this point, go ahead and use it up. And again, it's weak to laser. Optimize that if you can. And that's the fight. Moving along with these little devices, you can hold your directional pad in the direction that they're moving to give it kind of a speed boost. Otherwise, it'll have kind of this like slow default speed movement speed. And that's Rail Forest. So we have our train now. We're going to head back to Horloge and then immediately hop on the train and be on our way onto the next area. So nothing really we need to do in town right now. We're just going to head directly for the train. And the way the DLC works is you have to head off to different areas and deal with these events that deal with Zale's counterpart and then Blear's counterpart. And then eventually heading over to the Puppeteer. So first thing we're doing is going to the Ivory Towers to deal with Zale's counterpart. And we don't really have a say in this. This is just kind of like the general flow of the DLC. So, scenes to skip here. We're going to hookshot over to the right. And you're going to want to try to keep really good pacing as you're moving through this beginning of this first section. There's a couple of guards wandering around up here that you really want to try to catch on the first cycle. So get down here as soon as you can, make your way up along the top, and just sneak on by. If you do have to wait for the second cycle, it's not a big deal, it's just that they move really slow and you're going to end up losing some time because of it. So blue chest there, that was a weapon for Artie. We're just going to go ahead and immediately do that one. And we'll take a rest. Ivory Towers is very much kind of points you in a one-way direction. So it's a large place, and it feels like you might get lost, but it's kind of a one-way path through. So we'll start by going through, and we need to collect our accessory that kind of unlocks all the puzzles in this area for us. And now that we can move things around, we're going to go ahead and just move this railway all the way through the room with us. Hookshot from here. And after we place this, we just jump down so that we're kind of right next to this thing. And we're going to just run back onto the railway here. Don't mash any buttons because you'll end up hopping back into the vehicle and having to ride it back through. But just run back up here. This is more cotton candy, so more revive item. Tried writing this stuff out, and while it can be written out, it's just very dangerous. It's just safer to have them. Especially for one particular fight later on. So we're going to force this first fight, and we're going to just quickly assess what we have here. We're going to start with Loombo. You alternatively can hold off on Loombo until after they've done their attack, if one of them is going to have an attack here, so that you can heal from the attack. But that part's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to heat prod this. What I probably should have done here is I should have juggle knotted on the time mage first, and then I broke his locks, allowing that to do a little more damage, but you know, missing 5 damage is not a big deal here. And so we will go ahead and leapfrog with Artie. And this should end the fight, hopefully. One HP. Very cool. Alright. Little chest we can pick up here. And we're kind of heading into our first puzzle. Hope you like puzzles. I like to do this one clockwise, starting from the 11 o'clock position. I think that's kind of the most optimal way to go about this. If anybody sees a more optimal way, please let me know. And the reason for that is that the last piece just ends up being close to the door. And having to go up and around and pull this lever is kind of like just a very slow process, so getting these out of the way first. Cool. Okay, we have another fight coming up. We're going to use an ice cream here on Artie. We never talked about these. So, stack candies. Feel free to kind of go where you want with this. I like to use the magic ones on Artie to give him like that leapfrog boost. And his laser is just like typically really strong against a lot of things, so start by breaking that lock. This leaves us. Eight. Okay. Getting a little dangerous. 31. So this is a single target move. This will not like party wipe or anything like that. It will wipe a character, but that's not a big deal. And depending on, I guess, what encounters you do end up skipping, and what extra ones you end up taking will sort of determine where you get these level ups and change these fights a little bit for you. So first thing we do here, grab a skill scroll, and you can hookshot back over to the wall. Okay, you can hookshot across to pick this back up. Move this over a little more quickly. Same deal, you're going to hookshot over. That one you're kind of forced to. And outside, we're going to go up and climb this wall. And each of these 4 towers has like a little piece like this at the top of them with a switch inside that you have to press. That's kind of like the whole gimmick of this area. Complete all of the ivory towers. So that was the first one. And then we have the ladder. And the reason we forced that fight earlier so that we don't have to deal with it again right here. And we need to do a full heal here. So we're going to use some popcorn. We're going to use some ice cream. I'm actually just going to use this another ice cream. You need everybody to have enough MP to do their moves in this next fight. And again, you're going to force it right away. Assess what we get. Gonna go ahead with leapfrog. Okay, and then we're gonna use Juggernaut. And Heat Frog. And this should hopefully clean up the fight. If it doesn't, the Time Mage will be very close to death. But again, you want a full heal before going into this fight. Otherwise, it's nasty. And check whoever needs MP. Use their attacks to give you kind of like that little free MP boost here. The less ice creams you have to use moving through this area, the better. So we get another puzzle here. We need to start by resetting. And this is like 3 puzzle blocks that you need to kind of put in order. And we're going to start with the right-hand side. So the way this works is you kind of need to like build this representation of like Zale standing there. So the way I see this is like this block represents the legs, and then we'll have a block over here that will represent the torso, and then lastly a block that will represent the head. Cool. So, moving on to the next section. This is going to be the mirrors room. And again, you're going to have a fight in here. You're going to want to make sure you're all topped up. So it looks like I need to use an ice cream on Zale. And I think everybody else is fine here. Already is 1 MP short, isn't he? Oh no, he's fine. Okay. This is not the greatest set of locks here. I'm going to start by breaking this one. I think I'm just going to let him do full power. Could use Spectral Strike, but I'd rather save up for Heat Frog here if we can. There. Didn't even need it. Hopefully you're starting to see a trend in these fights. Heat Frog and Leapfrog are kind of your goal to victory. Your path to victory, I should say. And in this room you have a bunch of mirrors that are going to kind of show you what you need to represent. So go ahead and match those. Remember that it is a mirror, so that some things are going to be flipped, such as the front and back positions. What have I done? And it doesn't really matter what order you do these in. You can do them in whatever order. I feel like running to the bottom one after doing one of the second layer ones is kind of optimal, but as long as you're doing all of them and you're not running around unnecessarily. Okay, and on this one, we have a little cutout that we can jump through with stack candy. And we have a potential fight coming up here. So we're going to want to... this is a little rough. You're going to run down and diagonally. And sometimes, depending on the positioning of the enemy, you can get past the gear jump, but sometimes it will catch you, so don't worry too much about getting caught by this one. Okay, we're just looking at breaking locks right now. This guy's weak to laser. We get some boost out. Oh, look at that. And head on through. Equipment for Artie. You can change up his armor. And sell off your items. Ooh, I did not equip something on Zale. What did I miss here? I was supposed to equip that before the train fight, I believe. Little slip up there, I guess. Ice cream. We're gonna try to go for 6 and 6 here, or get as close as you possibly can. Between popcorns and ice creams. But definitely prioritize your ice creams. Those are gonna be your MP ones. Puzzle here, order is 4, 1, 3, 2. And here, blue chest. We're gonna go, so there's arrows on the ground indicating the number of movements that this gem will take, and you need to line it up with the big door here. So first one is right 1 and then left 2. And be careful before entering this door, wait for the time to head down. And then you're gonna go right 1. And when you come out, you're gonna move directly left and air puff the mage. Hug the wall and run up to this door. And, oh, I bonked a little bit, so we caught the encounter. That's super unfortunate. So, you know the trend. Break locks. Heap frog, leapfrog. Normally you would not take this encounter. This one is very consistent to skip. I just unfortunately happened to bonk a little bit when I was making my way back up to the wall to hug it and make it way towards the door, so just unfortunate on that one. Ooh, mistimed. Probably should have dealt with the time mage here. Kind of having to just shimmy my way through this battle since it's not one that you would normally take. We can take this chance though to get some MP back for Zale. Yeah, with clean movement, moving directly left to air puff the mage, and then just making your way up to the door, you should be able to make it through consistently most times. So we're up here now. We're gonna go right 3, left 3, right 3. So right, left, right. And so we are now through our third tower. This one's a little different. So we're going to get an encounter here, and because I just took that unintentional battle, I'm going to think about my items for a sec. So, and look, we got a fruity roll. I'm going to use that on the Leer, mainly for a particular boss later on. Everybody here has MP, so we should be fine. We can go Leapfrog and then Heap Frog. Surprise, surprise. And as far as skipping this encounter goes, you very well could skip this encounter, but remember that you're going to have to skip it on the way up through to the switch, and you're going to have to skip it away on the way out to the exit. So even if one of us comes up with a giant brain play to skip this encounter and just know where to stand while they're dancing their way through, it feels quicker to just take this encounter and get them out of your way. The worst thing you would want to do is get all the way out to the exit and then get caught at the last second. You know, waste all of your time and effort. Again, MP up. This one, we're going to be a little bit careful here. There's two ways to skip this. There's a consistent way and a little less consistent way, but a quicker way. So wait for the cannon to move. Air puff. And be careful when the time mage like shoots at you. Just be careful and conscious of where the bullets are. In here, very simple puzzle. If you know which pieces go where, I'll let just the video playback of that just kind of speak for how to do that. And we have another puzzle room up here with a fight, and it looks like everybody has the MP that they need, so we're just going to go ahead and start this up. This room consists a lot of moving the pieces just around the room in kind of a clockwise order. So you're going to move the platforms, move the grapple point, move the platform, move the grapple point, kind of like in that order, over and over again. So we're gonna break our single target locks here, so that when we do our AoE attack, it does more damage. We do not have Heat Frog yet. Hopefully soon. Nice. We got sun balancing. So we're ahead in XP by a little bit. If your run is going very well and you're getting all of the encounter skips, you would not get sun balancing until after the Narcissus King fight. So the fact that we got it before the Narcissus King fight tells me that we are ahead a little bit on the XP, which is not a big deal. It will speed up the Narcissus King fight a little bit, but ultimately your run is going to have a much better time if you're getting all of the encounter skips, obviously. I have a dog outside that's barking quite loud. Oop. And we got a little gap that we can jump down here for some items. And kind of a quicker exit out. And that's the Ivory Towers. We're going to take our puzzle piece here and move up north. And we're going to have one last kind of rest and equip before we go to the boss. Okay, Valir, armor, and then on Zale, you've got a new weapon and some armor. This fight has some risk and reward factor to it. There is a move that he'll open up with and use periodically called Ganon Ball, and is very representative of the old fights with Ganon from Nintendo 64. So if you time this enough times, he will take the damage. Nice. So that's free damage on him. If you see him throw up 2 sets of blocks, or a set of 2 blocks like that, it's advantageous for you to let him cast it. If you feel confident in being able to bounce that damage back to him. In this fight, you're generally going to want to prioritize positioning the mirrors and the light properly. That's going to be really important. Because we have sun balancing, we're going to go ahead and just use that a bunch if we can. You really don't need to hold on to Zale's MP at all in this fight. So if you have it, use it. Charging Artie's attack is not a vulnerability attack, but it's still quite strong. So you can use that route as well. Unbalancing is kind of a fun speedrun move in a sense because it really just depends on how quickly you're able to collect the stars. Pretty good round there. As you progress through the fight, you're going to get more of these lights and more of these mirrors, so you're going to have to spend a little more time focusing on dunking the mirrors. So you can do one hit here. And we'll work towards building Zale's MP back up so that he can sun balance again. And I'm gonna keep a boost on the ground from now on because as we get more mirrors and lights, we may end up in times where you need more shots than 2 in order to like reposition mirrors properly. So here I actually need 2, 4, which I'm not able to do. So we'll do that with Loonbow. And I don't have the MP for sun balancing yet, so we'll do another attack here. You don't really want to use leapfrog, leapfrog too much in this, because similar to Loonbow, you're going to be tinkering with the mirrors and the lights a little too much. And unless you're really good at paying attention to that sort of thing, it's kind of better to just focus on single move targets. So, yeah, Ganabelle again. Nice. And looks like we can do 1. Oh, I like this one. Oh, I missed that 1 star. Alright, this fight is going very nicely. Yeah, and he's in weakened phase. He's pretty much toast here. think the game is probably going to force a Symmetry of Sin on us here. Really? Wow. Oh, I could have Loonbowed this. This is fine, though. This is just reverse Sunballs. This move's quite easy to block, usually. Wow, great fight. A Symmetry of Sinless fight. You can rest now, you can rest later. Actually, now that I think about it, because we got the Sun Balancing level up before the fight, we did not need to rest there. If you get the level up after the fight, then you will have a gap in your HP from the level up. But because we got it before the level, I don't think we had to rest there. Exiting, you're going to want to wait for them to head south, and then air puff this guy down and to the right. Kind of stay hugging that right-hand wall as you're coming down the stairs. You want to avoid the left-hand one throwing the gear at you. And that's Ivory Towers. We're less than 1 hour, and we have this first section done. So, after each area, we need to head back to Horloge. Just kind of check back in with the town, see how things are going. And it was really nice and sunny last time we were here, and yeah, not so much anymore. So before we leave town this time, we're going to do Zale's minigame. This is going to give us an accessory, the Heliacal Brooch, that boosts his sun balancing attack quite a fair bit. Oh, no, give me that, give me that. There's many different ways you can do this one. And you shouldn't have to shop for anything. We're really just here for the brooch. Go ahead and equip that right away, so that you can start using it in your fights. And we have our counterpart with Valir now to deal with. We got the Feral Queen. We got to go to Wolf Rock. And that is where some of the more difficult encounter skips in the game are, I will say. Okay, we're going to begin by moving over to the right and climbing up and moving through. Wolf Rock is very kind of just like one-pathy and will guide you through where you need to go for the most part. As we jump in and fall into the water, we're immediately going to go right and pick up this little walking platform. And we have kind of a push block puzzle here. We're going to get both of our blocks down into this corner. once we push that block past the wall that was raised, we can move the block that lowered the wall and climb up on this platform here. And you can hookshot to the wall immediately after jumping off. That kind of gets you just like prepared and in place for the grapple point as soon as possible. So now that we have this side of the room unlocked, we need to go back and get the walking platform and bring it over to the side of the room. Down here. He will not really chase you. He will just throw at you, so as long as you continue moving, should be fine. And this fight, I call this the Awoo fight. Be very careful about this fight. So, because we have a non-wolf enemy, if they cast a Woo, he's going to fully heal and turn into a wolf. So, I'm going to try to be very careful about how I go about this. I'm going to go Loon Bow to break both of these. And neither one of them have vulnerability, so I'm just going to cut it. And now I'm going to use Cannonball Trampoline so that we can AoE this. I'm not seeing it, not seeing it. Such a hard time seeing the targets. Wow, that's really bad. That should have been easy. So the point of this fight is you really want to break those locks at all costs, if possible. I have a chance to do... Okay. We'll use Spectral Strike with the Leer boosted. Yeah, a Woo initially does not seem like such a bad move because it only heals them like 6 or 10 health. But anytime there is a non-wolf enemy in combat, it becomes an absolute nightmare. And because we have the Helical Brooch now, Sun Balancing is a very strong move. You'll want to use it whenever you can in a lot of places. Did I not grab the ladder? I must not have picked it up. There we go. So with the ladder, you can climb on the right-hand side here, and it's pretty much the only little thing you need to do with the ladder. You come up here, and be careful not to mash too much and accidentally jump off this platform. But take out those 2 pins, move up to this corner, take out this pin, and then you can hook shot over to the other corner, remove that pin. And we're going to hook shot to the wall, climb up. And as soon as this hits the water, you can begin mashing, except to go into the whirlpool. You don't need to wait for the water to drain or anything like that. Just moving along here. Nothing fancy to talk about. We have a skill scroll up here that they just very blatantly put out for us. That will be helpful for a little section later on, potentially. And so we have forced combat here. We're going to make sure that we're topped up, at least to do MP moves with everybody.
Trying to watch out for a woo here. We have Heat Frog, so we can go ahead with that. The condition that you're in after this battle is not really a big deal. There's a shop coming up and like a resting point, so if you're in rough condition after this battle, that's fine. So there's a piece of armor there for Artie. You can trade, get equipped and trade up your old one here. Aerialist wrap. I always do this. I have such a problem with not remembering to equip that when I get it. And as we move over to the right here, we're going to get into another forced encounter. This one, if you have to build some boost, go ahead, or alternatively, you can just leapfrog. So at this point, it's totally up to you if you want to take a rest again here, depending on how you're looking after the battle. I was not really able to like boost up MP on Zale or Artie, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the heal there. Okay, we picked up a key. This area has the rule of 3 going on. 3 bridges, 3 keys. You can usually hookshot from pretty far away on that one. I kind of just missed it. And make sure you're topped up. We took a rest, so we're good. This fight, looks like we got really lucky with the laser locks here. Same deal as every other fight, though. Basically, you're looking at Heat Frog, Leapfrog, Sun Balancing. Maybe you want to go Juggernaut, depending on what the locks are. In this case, I'm going to go Sun Balancing on the center target. And, yeah, I'm just going to go Heat Frog on this. We're going to have another fight coming up just right at the top of this, so make sure, again, you're all topped up. And this one, if you aim carefully, you can force it. Otherwise, they'll just come out and initiate the battle. And for this, it looks like we absolutely want to start by breaking the woo. You don't need to worry about locks too much on these spear guys. Lunge is not too bad to block. It is quite powerful at 100%, but you absolutely should be more concerned about a woo. Doing this partly for lock breaking and because I can use a little bit of a heal, but it's really not giving me a whole lot of blue. Yeah. This should kill both of them, I believe. And you can hook shot to the wall from immediately after climbing up there. Jump down. And okay, I'm a little bit early here. I was gonna say do an equip on Valier, but not yet. Jumping out, coming out here, you want to jump down kind of immediately. From the very specific position that I jumped down from. Go back and review if you have to. But you want to jump down kind of ASAP and just go and climb the wall. It's important that you jump down from kind of the highest point that you're able to jump down. So that the aggro that you pull on the enemies is not excessive. In this room, we have a puzzle where we kind of just need to move the electricity from one side of the room to the other. Through various means. So here we're going to climb, and up here we're going to wrap the wall. And sort of just wrap these around a couple times. So wood block needs to be in front of the upper pipe, and heavy block needs to be in front of the lower pipe, like so. That room is done. This room, you're going to want to say Monster Moon Star to yourself a bunch. Monster Moon Star, 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 Monster. You just want to keep telling that to yourself. Monster Moon Star. In this room, this room's fun. I'm gonna hope for the best. You want to wrap enemies around the room. Wow, first try. You want to wrap around the left side of the room. Oh man, I botched the escape. Dude, you never botch the escape. You want to wrap around the left side of the room, and if done properly, they will stop far enough away from you to climb the wall. The problem with that setup in particular that I just got was that the bottom plant didn't follow along on the first cycle. So, yeah, he was right in my way on the exit. I could have probably air puffed him, and I wasn't thinking about it. This is probably, in my opinion, the trickiest encounter in Wolf Rock to get. Sometimes when you do that setup, you will have to loop them around the room multiple times before they kind of stop in that position. But that has been kind of the most consistent way I've been able to find of giving yourself enough time to climb those blocks without them chasing you. So the setup was good, the exit was bad. Okay, here you're going to take this block with the gem on the right-hand side and immediately push it down. And then we're going to set the other one up here, push it to the left. Then this goes back up so that we can push it down against this one and into this little groove. And that allows us to place both. We push left, right, because we're going to climb the right-hand side here. And we go over, up, over. And yes, they do make you go the long way for all of this. Over, up, over. And you're going to want to wait just a second until they get past kind of this green line here, because that's where you're going to land when you jump down. And here we're going to go right and pick up this item. And it's here that you want to go in and do an equip on Valir. She's going to be leaving the party soon, and we won't get her back until the boss fight, so you want to make sure that she's geared up now. So there's a couple things we're going to do here. She's going to get a new piece of armor, and we're going to give her the spectacular scarf for now. So here, instead of climbing down, you can jump down. And then just hit the wall from there. And we're 3 keys down. Let's go. We got a scene out here with the queen. Villar's going to leave, and we're left with just Artie and Zale. But there's one encounter here that we can skip. Although it's kind of a blind jump going into it, so we'll see what happens. Cool. So that's about as good as you can hope for that encounter skip. You want the wolf to be facing away, and you want to kind of rush one of the underground guys and just air puff them away and try to weave your way through. So we got Pharaoh Queen fight. She's not really vulnerable to anything, and she throws up a lot of locks. So try to keep some boost down, try to keep your MP up. If I was smart, I would have delayed that into the next cycle. I really should have just delayed that. That way I would have had 2 extra turns to do damage with just nothing. Okay. Those big sets of locks are it's the Buis Roulette, which is kind of like a guessing game to figure out which bush she's hiding in. I'm sure we'll see it here very, very shortly. For now, I'm just going to keep steamrolling with damage and seeing what she does for locks. Yeah, we can't break that one. And this is going to be roulette, so we're just going to let her go ahead with it. Welcome to the guessing game. You can either just target immediately for speed, or if you feel you can guess, go ahead, go for it. I don't think there's any sort of giveaway. Good sail back up. This is going to be Buis Roulette again, but at least we're breaking a few locks and getting a few bushes out of the way. Wow. Really not getting lucky today. Okay, so this one's going to be full moon. This is kind of like the Symmetry of Sin move. It's a little bit slower in timing. She's really not being kind today. She's being really mean. So when you're going to this weekend state animation, try to use up all your MP on Zale and Artie. As there will be a phase 2 of the fight, but it's just a one-on-one Villiers and the Queen. Okay, so you're either going to get locks that you can break solely with Loonbow, or you're going to get kind of a combination of hammer and Loonbow locks. Or even all hammer locks. As we're speedrunning, we're definitely not going to have trapeze at this point. So you can be hopeful to break the Loonbow locks, but any other ones, expect to get the Buis Roulette. And just try to keep your health up. Part of the reason we gave her the Spectacular Scarf and the armor equipment before she left the party is so that she doesn't have to heal so much during this section. gonna let her delay. That gives us 1 free turn of damage. You kind of just have to play by whatever the game gives you here. Cool. You're going to want to be careful here. Don't go down too far. Wait for the wolf to look away. The white guy to look away. And air puff him. And we are done here. We have to go back to our lodge, check in, see how things are going. We're gonna jump up into this shop real quick here before we leave. And I'm gonna buy another spectacular scarf to replace the one we took off of Artie. Mainly because the next fight is very deadly. Oh, Zale, why are you not healed? You really could use a heal. Next fight is very deadly, and is potentially a run killer for us here. Like, it just depends on what sort of RNG we get, how rude he wants to be with his locks. I've had this fight just go fantastic and phenomenal, and I've had it just drag on and on and on for 15 minutes. It really just depends. The big thing is that we just try to be as prepared as possible for it, with our gear and ample items. So he's weak to blue magic, so we're going to try to prioritize boosting Valier's stuff and trying to do as much damage as we can, just kind of all around. So the 6-lock combination is Mirage Toss, and that is his most dangerous move. You want to try to avoid this one at all costs. It's just very dangerous. It hurts a lot. I'm probably going to regret this. I'll probably end up using an MP item afterwards just to fix this, because I know Mantra is on the way. Yeah, that's like me catching myself, just being like, oops, shouldn't have done that. The mantra is kind of a scary looking move. It heals him every turn that it's active. So he's healed 34 HP. So you really want to try to break this ASAP, or else all the work that you do on actually doing damage to him just goes to waste. Heat Frog should be kind of your reliable source of damage outside of Mantra. You really want to keep Juggernaut and Heat Frog as well as Limbo available for Mantra. And Zale needs MP really bad. Hopefully this is a free turn. That sucks. What do we got? Okay. And it's not enough for Heat Strike or Heat Frog. Okay. So this is like a lot of unnecessary healing now. So we'll try to mitigate that here with a Heat Frog. Okay, at least we're prepared for it this time. Did he just take extra healing? What just happened there? Okay, forced Mirage Toss, Juggle Core. Please, thank you. I'm so bad at Juggle Core. Okay, so Mirage Toss is super scary. Limbo. Oh, we all have like dangerously low MP. Okay. breakable. Valier will go down. Already might even go down, actually, depending on how many hits he takes here. Poor Valier. Poor Zale. Okay, I'm looking for a weakened state animation here pretty soon. He's giving me a 3-timer. I'm going to utilize it. There it is. Probably going to be Mantra. Yep, and I don't have Juggernaut. That sucks. That's rough. Alright, let's get through it. You're not going to give me the heal. Okay, that's not great. Oh, I can do this though. Oh, GG. He is such a scary fight. Alright, so we made it to Big Top. Here we are. We have nothing to sell. And we need ice cream. So you guys start by either going left or right. It's totally up to you. Totally preference. We're gonna go left first. Left has a little more that can... Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say, left has a little more that can go wrong, but it's the next left that I'm thinking of. If you're pretty good at blocking and you don't mind getting poked here a little bit, try to focus on breaking this first guy's set of locks. Wow. Super mean. And since Valier is pretty much toast, I'm gonna go ahead and start things off with her. Block the heal. Cool, it was a pretty clean fight. We're going to start by going over and picking up our electricity so that we can unlock the cannon. And we'll begin puzzling over here, so we're going to set our plank up, go pick up our electricity from the cannon because we don't need that anymore. We set it up over here. We got a chest here we can pick up. And we're going to be staying over on this side for a little bit, so we'll set this back up. Use this. Oh, that's right, we got to use the ladder. You want to bring the electricity over to this side now to unlock this ladder. We need to set up the walking plank before we can grab the ladder. And then it looks like we need the electricity, so we'll go grab that. I think realistically you could have grabbed the plank there and then brought it over, but then you would have had to bring it back, so... Just do it this way. So left side is done. We can now go over to the right side. You may want to take a rest here just to save yourself from having to use healing items. I don't think there's an encounter on the right side here. Or yes, there is one. No. Thinking of the other right side. So there's just that candy at the back there. You can pick that up. And we're going to hit the first switch to unlock access to the trampoline block. Start by pulling this lever. So depending on what corner of the room you have the trampoline block in is sort of going to determine where you can bounce and even where these spotlights from where you're available to jump will show. So for this part, you can hookshot back over. Use the ladder. You do have to reposition the block and re-pull the switch here. Oh. Oh, I did this the long way. This got to go in the upper left corner. And with that, we can just climb the ladder all the way to the top, and we're done with this room. So we got the bottom left and the bottom right section done. We can start doing the upper sections. So we have 4 tickets right now. We can do one of these 3 tickets, which will leave us 1, and we got some more stuff to do up here. 2 more so that we can unlock the next upper level. So in this tent, we have 1 fight. We'll pick up a weapon for Valir, which we can equip immediately. And just like every other time we see this set of locks on a cannon, we use Valir to kick it. Is going to sun balance the center target. It doesn't hit everybody, but it will hit 2 of them, and then we can just clean up on the last target. And wow, very slippery sunball here. And now we get Trapeze, which this move would have been really nice against Tendu. But yeah, it just doesn't happen in the speedrun. So I'm going to line him up with the target on the ground and then go stand on this teeter-totter, seesaw, whatever. So with this, we kind of need to mirror what's on the wall up there. So that was like top bottom. We'll place him on the top. We'll stand on the bottom. And for this part, you want to set the one in the back. Oh, I went 1 too many. You want to set the one in the back on the target so that you jump on it. Usually just 5 air puffs is enough to get it, but I overshot. So now that they're lined up like this, you can stand over here. And for this next part, try not to air puff too quickly. I don't know if it has really anything to do with this, but I did encounter a problem one time where I wasn't able to cross. I just kept jumping down from the final step. And I think it had to do with air puffing a little too quickly or something. So here you're going to wait for the key guy to look down and make sure nothing else is kind of in the way. If they chase you, this is fine. You're going to be hitting this switch, which will like lose their aggro and reset things anyways. And same deal when you're going back. You're going to wait for the key guy. You don't want to drag his attention. So that's the upper right side done. We can go to the upper left side now. Upper left side has a bunch of forced encounters, so you may want to rest up first. It does have one skippable encounter, which we'll try to get. I don't exactly have the greatest method for this one just yet. But what I have been doing has been regularly working. We're going to come in from this side. I'm going to wait for kind of them to all be far away. And I'm not really confident about this one because 2 of them are really close together. Yeah. So if you get this one, stick with your normal game plan of Heat Frog, Leapfrog, Sun Balancing. The idea is to run over to the right-hand cliff and climb up. If you do have to air puff one of them, that's usually fine, but it looked like I had the attention of two of them because they were so close together. I'll take my spoils of war. My battle items. We'll go Loon Bow. We'll play that Loon Bow out because we do have enemies that are vulnerable. And I don't really have anything I can do for kind of like AoE moves right now. Or at least I won't have to do any MP healing before the next fight. Upsides to every downside. They should be weak enough that you can pretty much just wipe them with anything. And for this one, I'm just going to immediately go Sun Balancing on the key guy. Easy. Casually, this room is so scary. There's just so many enemies, and it's just... these battles are tough. But, doing the speedrun, it's, they're really not all that bad. I don't think we equipped Zale yet. And we got some boss fights coming up. Hey, remember these guys? We're going to start out by breaking the first lock. usually with a basic attack and then a charged basic attack. And we're just going to pay attention to the set of locks from the blue one here from. So if you'll remember, this was the symbol shield. So you really don't want that one to get off. And you really just need to focus on one target here, so stay focused on the red one. And just try to do as much damage to him as you can. Get some boost on the ground, be prepared for locks. Not going to be able to break that one. You should be done pretty soon here. Say one more attack should do it. There it is. Okay, we got Pontouf. Whoops. There we go. This fight is really just about paying attention to the locks. You really don't need to go too crazy here with anything. Keep some boost on the ground. Use your MP when you have it. And just have some fun. This fight is a lot of fun. It's really not one to be overly worried about in the speedrun. Oh, of course it was Heat Frog. I didn't see the laser at the end. Not that I have it anyways. We'll heal up a little bit. Hypercut. So this removes one party member for a round. And so when Zill drops in after this attack, he'll drop in with 1 HP. We'll have to be careful and heal him up ASAP. Alright. I think we'll go ahead with Trapeze here. Or not. Maybe we'll go ahead with Trapeze next turn. Yeah, let's go. trapeze is super strong. The problem is it's very easy to screw up. Do a sun balance. Again, you don't overly need MP in this fight. Most of the locks are pretty straightforward. They're usually either basic attack combinations or leapfrog. So, go nuts. And he's looking pretty beat up here. We're pretty close to the end. Oh, perfect damage kill. Sick. If this does not finish the fight, it should be like one attack after this, I would think. He's pretty close. And sub 2 on Pip and Poof is pretty nice. What can I do here? Poof in the box is a little scary. Okay. We're getting a little dangerous, are we? Oh my god, I missed it. Oh, this is healing. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. That's scary. Wow. Yeah, we're gonna play a little safe here, I guess. After something like that. Dude's got like 10 HP probably. We don't want to end things right here. Yeah, that's right. 201. Okay. So with that done, that opens up 2 more rooms along the top, one on the left, one on the right, and there's going to be like your last 2 little sections before the final boss. So, we'll take a rest. Left side has no encounters, right side has 1 encounter, if done correctly. So, let's start with left. Let's take a little breather before we go into the next encounter section. This one's pretty straightforward. It's just kind of like move quickly through the area. Don't screw it up. Land on that platform before the timer runs out, but there's really not a whole lot that you can screw up in this section. It's a one-way path, and as long as you kind of know that you just need to move through and hook shot, there's really nothing to worry about for this one. And there's our last jump. You did it! So, left side is done. There is a stat candy at the back of the room if you want to pick it up, but it's a little bit out of the way and it doesn't really seem necessary, so. Because there was no encounters, we don't really need to consider resting here. We can just move right along into the final area. It's probably one of my least favorite areas of Big Top. Least favorite room. We're gonna try to skip the encounter on this first floor, and then we should hopefully be good after that, but we're gonna force the encounter on the second floor. See what happens here. Okay, good. So we're gonna force this encounter, simply because we move around way too much on this floor. And it doesn't make sense for us to try to skip this encounter like 4 or 5 times. Pretty simple though. Again, follow the trend, heat frog, leapfrog, use whatever you got. Sun balancing is just absolutely OP. So go ahead, boost that, center target. Ooh, hopefully this kills. Okay. You do not want to see his cast. If you see him casting, you want him dead. He calls in his friends, and it's not a good time. So I'm going to place the trampoline, and I'm intentionally going to jump off the platform there because I don't want to catch this encounter. But now that the trampoline is in place, it's essentially impossible for us to catch the encounter on this floor because we're always just going to bounce off this trampoline. So we're safe now. We're going to take the second block. We're going to set up for picking up Artie's last weapon. This part's a little optional, so if you want to skip it, that's totally up to you. But we do have one more big fight with Artie involved, so picking up his final weapon here is advantageous, it seems. So I'm a little late on this cycle. I'm going to wait for the cannon to go through one more time. This one is, you don't want to catch this encounter, obviously, but it's fairly easy to skip. So we got Artie's weapon. Infinity Lens, we'll equip that, and we're going to reset the room one more time here, go back up to the top and finish this off. So we need to retrieve the trampoline. And then bring it up to the top floor. And then we'll place it and jump down. Oh, okay. That sucks. I was going for the little cutout, because the cutout will just bring you back down to the bottom floor, immediately jumping on the trampoline. But yeah, maybe safer to just head directly south after that one. If you have to jump down to the bottom floor again, that might be your safety route out of avoiding this encounter. But at this point in the game, you should be powerful enough to just kind of wipe through these guys fairly quickly. And with that, this section is done. And this brings us up to our final fights. We got a game of wheels with the puppeteer, and then one more battle after that. As far as this wheel battles goes, if you're familiar with how wheels works, you'll much understand how combat works in this and how enemies get their turns. The orange and green pillars on the sides are what's going to determine when they attack. And each of these wheels champions has a weakness. So we're going to try to play into that as much as possible. This first one is weak against bash, or hammer. And it kind of looks like the puppeteer, so we're going to target this one first. The puppeteer has 6 wheels champions. In order to win the fight, you have to defeat all of them. So check their weaknesses when they pop out, and try to play into that as much as you can. We're going to go sun balancing on the healer here. The healer is a nice one to keep till the end because he's really not all that threatening. But if you find yourself in a position where like you only have his weakness available to you, then by all means just go for it. down. And we're going to use Leapfrog here because it's going to hit all these pieces on the board and cycle them down into weaker pieces. So anytime you attack a piece on the wheels board, it will become a weaker piece until it reaches nothing. We're going to focus on Knives. Knives is a little more threatening than the Weightlifter. Okay, I'm fine with this. Stomp is not too bad. I probably should have waited because she's going to get angry and reshuffle the board again. But I kind of just want to get the seal off. Okay. Yeah, so this is a dangerous combination. I don't really like this at all. Okay, this is better. So Saya is a very damage-heavy move. It's probably gonna kill her here, even if I were to block it. I'm going to need to take a sec here to bring Artie back up. Being down to one character in this fight is just not a good time. We're going to heal up before we do anything. And I kind of just want this guy gone. Well, I think I'm going to focus on him next. Saya is just a really scary move. Really need some MP. Okay, he's gonna pick on Artie again. I really just want him gone. Sometimes this fight goes really smoothly. Other times it's kind of a matter of like who gets swapped out when. Sometimes you're really just looking for like a vulnerability attack and you just can't get it based on who's left as Wheels champions and who you have on the board. Okay, you're going all in on orange. Well, that's fine. I really just want this guy gone. Okay, so these ones are both weak to laser, at least. I could use this healing. Get this one out of here. And clean up on this last one. I guess to summarize this fight, really you're just going to want to track what their weaknesses are and try to play into that as much as possible. Sometimes you will just get unlucky in saying that you need Villier on the board, but you're just not getting Villier on the board. Sometimes you just have to deal with it. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, good. Good, okay. I think we can survive this. I'm actually just not going to risk it. I'm going to do a heal before I attack. We'll see if I made the right decision here or not. If I attack and he dies. Oh, I could have risked it. So at the beginning of this fight, you just can't do anything. This is a Dweller, and we are not Solstice Warriors right now. So there's really nothing we can do here. It's kind of like the beginning of the Dweller of Torment fight in the vanilla game. Or the base game, I should say. So we kind of just have to play through these rounds. So this is the fight that it kind of depends on your save file and your stats. Coming into Horloge, you get your base game characters back here. So if you were, say, level 30 going into this, you're going to be level 30 here. We are level 18 right now, with kind of like a new game file, not a new game plus file. So this will be on the lower end of the stats. With this fight, you're really just going to want to be doing as much damage with your Solstice character skills as possible. Keeping your MP up. There are going to be points where he casts locks, and you're either going to have to use Solstice Strike or Spoiler, the new move. Here we go. And without a boost, that was kind of pointless. What you almost want to do in those scenarios, if you're able to, is to just cast Lunar Shield. Because that will block the sap attack, which heals him and extends the fight. You do want to try and break those locks. However, for the combo, trying to get 2 combo points is going to accelerate this fight. And I'm not going to bother healing here because the next move is going to drop us to 1 HP. Well, that one will kill Failure. Okay, so again, try to keep yourself topped up throughout the fight. Don't worry about having to take a turn or two to heal up if you need to. Last thing you want is a death at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and Lunar Shield this one. Because I don't have a live mana on the ground to boost along with the Solstice Strike, we saw last time it only does 100 damage, so it's just no sense in doing it. We can just block the sap anyways. We got ultimate. Let's burn it. And we're very close to 2 combo points here. I hope we get it soon. So there it is. I'm going to go ahead and use it. I suppose you could also kind of accelerate this fight in a way if you plan to have full combo points coming into it. It does retain any full combo points that you have, but it does reset partial combo points. If you had like half of a meter, it will go ahead and reset that. But if you had like, I think we came in with 1 combo point. Oh, I overheld that. So I think 1 or 2 more attacks here, and we should be all wrapped up. I might have to use an ice cream to kind of get that going, though. Okay, good fight. And we're just about done here. We got one more thing we need to do. We're just going to have a quick little battle here. We're going to pay attention to what he's telling us. He's gathered power, so we're going to defend. And we're going to follow up with a risky attack. Checking the situation, so we're going to do the same. Gathered power, so we're going to defend from that. And follow up with the risky attack. Checking the situation, so we'll do the same. Attack. Serious look. We defend. And we go risky, and that's the fight. And let me just say, I've been grinding for sub 220 lately, and wow, this is a 220. So, like, that was close. Time will be when we smash the gear. Yeah, 220.34. That's pretty close to my current goal. And actually is a PB. Sick. But yeah, that's pretty much the tutorial. That's all I got. There was a couple of mistakes, but hopefully we we're able to clarify and walk through even what we would do. Wow, yeah, good run, good run. We'll go past the credits here. And if you were doing 100%, you would wrap up with the rest of the time ruins, but that's not for today. This is the Any % category. And yeah, that was the tutorial for Any % Glitchless, Throes of the Watchmaker. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hope it encouraged some of you to jump in and give this run a try. It's actually really fun. It's a really fun run. 2.5 hours is a pretty solid RPG experience. And of course, if anybody wants any more information about it, feel free to reach out. I might move into doing a 100% guide here pretty soon. There's really not going to be much different, though. It's just the time ruins. So that'll be pretty much it for Throes of the Watchmaker, at least until the patch update comes out. I may do another one of these after the patch update comes out with the more recent version of the game. But for now, that's it. Enjoy.